Dr. Hamer unfortunately passed away in 2017, but he left us something exceptional. This definitely makes him one of the immortals. Because what could be more important than knowing how your body works? We spend a whole life in it. And our body's condition determines the quality of our lives to a great extent. The topic of this seminar video tutorial is the syndrome. Syndrome means several things at the same time. In GHA, when we talk about the syndrome, we always mean the kidney collecting tubule active and another SBS in healing. So, there is an active fluid retention conflict, and somewhere else in the body there is an organ in healing. I will briefly review the kidney collecting tubules, because that is more or less the basis of the syndrome. We have 3 groups of collecting tubes for each kidney. With that, we have 6 groups of kidney collecting tubules, and the corresponding brain relays are located in the brainstem. These are not crossed from the brain to the organ. The right relay is for the right kidney, and the left relay is for the left kidney. Actually, one has to imagine 3 relays in one relay there. From the physiological point of view, the pre-urine is formed from the blood via the glomeruli. The tissue of the glomeruli is the tissue of the orange group, whose brain relay is located in the cerebral medulla of the cerebellum. We are in the patients with high blood pressure and renal cyst with this tissue. This is not part of this tutorial. There is a separate seminar video tutorial for the renal parenchyma. 180 liters of pre-urine are produced per day, which is about twice the body weight. And through the kidney collecting tubes, about 99% is regained, and then 1.5 liters of urine is excreted per day. So, the bottom line is that we excrete what we take in terms of fluids. When we have the kidney collecting tubules active, we drink more than we excrete. The conflict here is the refugee or existential conflict. We need to understand the programs from the history of development. This program developed when our ancestors still lived in the primordial sea, and he always had water available to him. But how did he retain water, in the situation when he had washed up on the beach and was in danger of drying out? This is what we now call the refugee conflict. I feel left all alone, excluded. Or the existential conflict about body and life. Nature does nothing bad, only something sensible, and so a sensible biological special program is now starting, so that this conflict can be resolved from the cause. Therefore the kidney collecting tubules now respond with cell increase, and water is stored, fluid is retained. So, this program basically says to the little animal lying on the beach and in danger of drying out, drink every puddle and don't pee, the next flood is sure to come. This way, I can survive being sent into the desert. Typical conflicts in the present time are, when the mother takes the child to daycare, preschool, kindergarten, or grandma. The child feels left alone by the mother and becomes chubby. Or the existential conflict, the cancer diagnosis, now it's about my life, then I panic and retain fluid. Then, when the flood comes, in other words, when I resolve the conflict, the cell division stops, and the kidney collecting tubular carcinoma, which I don't need now, is degraded tuberculously. With any tuberculosis, we have protein loss. Now I have protein in the urine. The urine foams, like you're whipping up protein, and the urine stinks. Every tuberculosis stinks. Although the kidney collecting tubular carcinoma has yet to break down, I start urinating immediately. In the conflict active phase, I gain weight without changing anything about my diet, because I drink more than I excrete. And in the healing phase, I lose body weight again without changing anything about my diet. Because I lose the fluids again. The kidney collecting tubes can hold fluid or urea. If it goes towards fluid, water, then it's more the refugee conflict. I feel left alone. If it goes toward urea, it's about the existence conflict. That's about starvation, liver cancer. The body can recycle protein from urea, and if I am sent into the desert, I need water and protein to survive. Then the creatinine in the blood also rises. Some people are retaining fluid without the creatinine rising, and so, some people are very slim and yet, their kidney collecting tubes are closed. Their creatinine is high, and they store more urea in the blood. In healing, the renal collecting tubular carcinoma is broken down tuberculously. The crisis is a brainstem crisis. One is cold, nothing more. As long as the conflictive phase lasts, so does the healing phase. The greater the extent of the conflict, the more severe the crisis. It can be a second peak, but I can also be cold for several days. I don't have an epileptic seizure. I don't fall. I don't have a heart attack, I'm just cold, that's all. At the end of the healing, there remains a residual condition of tuberculosis, which is the calcified form of kidney stones. So, this is the end of the healing.
Germanische Heilkunde is considered the greatest discovery in the history of humanity, by those people who have understood its underlying principle. While classical medicine is based on more than 5,000 hypotheses, the Germanische Heilkunde can be considered as the only medicine, which is scientifically verifiable. With Germanische Heilkunde, for the first time in the history of humanity as we know it, there is a medicine with which any patient case can be reproduced in a strictly scientific manner. More than 30 different universities have already confirmed this in the past. Nevertheless, the discovery of Dr. Hamer has been suppressed and denigrated for over 30 years. Take your health into your own hands, and learn about Germanische Heilkunde, while you are still healthy. Helmut Pilhar, one of 3 lecturers, officially appointed by Dr. Hamer for Germanische Heilkunde, offers you an extensive and complete seminar collection for this purpose, which is now also to be translated into the English language. This knowledge will change your view of conventional medicine, forever. You can find a direct link to Helmut Pilhar's seminar videos in the description, below this video.